The DMZ is located nearby the city of Kaesong in North Hwanghae Province. If you travel from Pyongyang, you'll embark on a 3-hour journey along the Reunification Highway. Or you can choose to stay overnight in Kaesong, which is just 10 minutes away from the DMZ. When the border between North and South was originally drawn, Kaesong City belonged to South Korea. So during the Korean War, it was spared much of the bombing that the rest of North Korea suffered, and therefore also retained many old buildings and structures. Okay, so we just arrived at the DMZ where they actually got a new lick of paint. There was a typhoon here about September, October time on the Korean Peninsula, so they did some renovations and there's a new lick of paint which you can see behind me. And yeah, so we're about to go to the DMZ point, which is the North-South Korean border, otherwise known as Panmunjom. So let's go and see what it's like. So this is often known as one of the world's scariest borders and world's most dangerous borders. I beg to differ. I think it's incredibly friendly, and the military guides who take us around are a lot of fun. But I'll let you guys make your own opinion of that when we go in and see what it's like. At the entrance to the DMZ are 2 propaganda posters. One saying, "Let's pass on a unified motherland," and the other saying the common slogan, "Chosonon Hanada, Korea is one." It's not permitted to take photos of the entrance area of the DMZ, and before you enter, you'll have an explanation of the area and relevant history from the military guard who will show you around.
So this is Panmunjom where we are now. The black line on the map is military demarcation line formed by US. Total length is about 257 kilometers. Inside of this area, nobody can carry automatic weapons and heavy weapons.
The zone stretches for 250 kilometers or 160 miles across the width of the Korean Peninsula, between the Mount Kumgang region in the east and the mouth of the Imjin and Han rivers in the west. After the explanation, you'll then line up in a group, cross the white line and enter the gates marking the entrance of the DMZ area before getting back on the bus. It's then just a short bus journey to the first stop. Okay, so we just arrived at the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, where we are first going to take a look at the Blue House, where the armistice agreement was signed with the US and the people from DPRK. And afterwards, we will go into a building where we can see that signed agreement as well. So let's see what it's like.
Was provoked by US on June 25th, 1950. Just within 1 year from the starting of the war, the US suffered a very serious political and military damage from our side. So on June 30th, 1951, the US suggested us the holding the armistice talks. On July the 10th, the same year, 1951, at 10 o'clock in the morning, the first talk was held. So when we were having a talk, our side took these six, and then US took this.
Used by North Korean and UN officials to negotiate and sign the armistice agreement, these 2 buildings hold important historical significance. And after an explanation in the first, you go on into the second building, where a museum has been set up. The original flags and agreement are under a glass on the table in the center of the room, along with photos and artifacts from the time. Whilst everyone is having a look around, I take the opportunity to have a chat with an old friend. So we're going to say hi to our military guide.
제 이름은 원철입니다.
So how long have you been working at the DMZ?
글쎄 몇 년이나 한 10년 정도 했습니다.
About 10 years.
10 years. Wow. So you've seen many foreigners in that time. 외국인 많이.
네, 많이.
많이.
상관 보상을 많이 했습니다.
How have relations changed over that time?
한미 관계에서 이거 뭐가 어떻게 변화가 이루어졌는지.
근데 여러분들도 다 보셨으니까 잘 알리라고 생각합니다.
Maybe you saw the many videos and saw the TV about that.
Yeah, it's true. And do you enjoy your job here?
직업을 사랑하는.
제 직업을 사랑합니다.
Really? It's interesting. 재미있습니까?
적을 지키는 게 용해로운 사업이죠.
You mean that it's honor to defend the country?
Oh, that's very good. Yeah, cool. And it's always a pleasure seeing you every time.
매번 올 때마다 만나서 반가웠답니다.
저 역시 그렇습니다.
감사합니다. So we just finished looking around the Armistice Talks Hall and the Armistice Signing Agreement Hall, which you can see behind me. And now we are heading to the Blue Huts at the DMZ demarcation line, where we will be able to see the line dividing both North and South. On this drive, the North Korean flag is visible, flying atop one of the largest flagpoles in the world. The flagpole was built in the border town of Kijongdong, one of the two towns allowed to exist inside the DMZ. There are 245 families that live here. This area is known as the JSA, and once you arrive here, you're taken to the signature of Kim Il-sung, a huge marble monument with the president's signature emblazoned on it. It's reported that this is a copy of the signature he wrote on his final document before his death in 1994. After this, you're taken to one of the most well-recognized places in North Korea, the DMZ military demarcation line. If you're lucky, you may even get the opportunity to head into one of the blue conference rooms and step, technically, into South Korea. So behind us, we can see the south. So just behind those blue hoods there, maybe you can see a concrete line, and that shows that's the south over there. And we are currently standing in the north. Where are you?
I'm here.
So let's go up and see what it's like from the balcony. We can get a better view. Very rarely, there's also the opportunity to see people on the other side, visiting from South Korea. The DMZ is the only place in North Korea you can take a photo with a soldier, so many use this opportunity on top of the pavilion. There's only one way out of the DMZ, the same road that we came by. So after walking around for about 2 hours, this marks the end of our trip to the demilitarized zone, and definitely marks the time to get some lunch.